said, did you hear Stephen A. Smith apologize to Kyrie?
Kinda. I seen the clip when he was going in on Kyrie about the whole vaccination situation.
Right.
And then Dr. Fauci went out there and threw up all over himself in front of Congress. So now people are backtracking. So I didn't hear the actual word, but I got the gist of it.
All right. Let me play a little bit of it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I bring his name up because I have my issues with him from a leadership standpoint. Never as a player, because he's sensational. But with him, in terms of leadership. And I didn't look at it as being courageous. I looked at it as being selfish. And I watched Dr. Fauci on Capitol Hill yesterday. And the person I thought about most was Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving stood out in my mind because of the heat that he was taking. And now folks were piling on because that was just the latest transgression in their eyes that he was committing and subjecting the public to. He refused the vaccine. New York City's mandate made him ineligible for home games. And he linked his stance to people losing jobs over vaccine mandates. In my opinion, particularly hindsight-wise, it didn't make him stubborn or selfish. It made him brave for his willingness to stand up and say, nah, I'm not doing that. It's just a time for reflection and look at things differently.
So that's something what Stephen A. Smith said. Here's what I'll say on it, man. Like, I don't think any government should force you to do anything.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to go take that vaccine under your own, willpower and you felt a certain way, you could have done it. And, here's what I'll say about vaccines. We had vaccines when we were younger for certain things. But those are vaccines that were tried and true, put through, and this shit was rushed. They got this shit out, made it very quickly, and, you had a lot of people saying that it did a lot of different things. Some stuff I believe. I didn't know what to believe, honestly.
Yeah, it was crazy time.
It was crazy, but for a man standing up and saying no, the way that Stephen A. Smith went at him like that was some fucking bullshit. Without you really not having, that's like you putting your faith in this government, which they done been wrong a lot and done a lot of malicious shit, and you attacking another brother like that. So really the apology is too late for real. Now because the government gave you information to confirm that they was full of shit. Now all of a sudden you want to apologize and shit. You might as well have kept that shit. But what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna just go ahead and piggyback off of exactly what you said, and because I remember those times. And Stephen A. Smith, you said a lot of black folk in our culture. He basically said a lot of people within us was giving him a lot of criticism. No, it was you,
right?
Kicking this man's fucking back in, being the leader of kicking his back in over something that you should have sat back and evaluated years ago. Now, whether you agreed or not with his stance, given the circumstances and the times that we lived in, given the amount of force that they were trying to put on people to get these things without there being any type of research, the amount of fear-mongering that was going on with that disease, and I'm not sitting here denouncing the disease or thinking it was bullshit, because I know people personally who have died from it, right? Albeit not the greatest of health, albeit not the healthiest of weight.
Right.
Certain complications in combination with that disease was a killer, and it killed people, right? So I'm not going to sit back and act as if it wasn't real, but at the same time, there was words and shit going on back then, even from our previous president. If you didn't take said vaccine, you were going to die. Something was going to happen to you. They put the fear of God in all of us, and you sitting there as a black man on one of the biggest sports platforms on the planet, one of the biggest sports voices on the planet, black or white, to you to kick that man's back in because he had questions, because he questioned something, because he questioned what was going into his body. He wasn't out here smoking bud or doing cocaine or doing anything illegal.
Right.
He was questioning something to put in his body as a professional athlete, and you kicked his fucking back in. So the energy for the apology needs to be just as high as it was 5-6 years ago when you were kicking his back in, because you were the head honcho of it. So the apology to me was some bullshit.
Right.
It was real chill, and I hope you hit him up personally, but I want you to be just as loud and just as boisterous to those people that sat back and fear-mongered us as you were to Kyrie Irving for simply saying, well, wait a minute. I'm not comfortable taking this, because there were a lot of other athletes that weren't comfortable taking it, but they did out of fear of losing their job, fear out of hurting their kid, whatever the case may be. But now we sit here, we got one person who you called a leader at the time. If you just simply took a couple steps back, whether you agreed with his stance or not, he was a leader then too.
Yeah.
He was ahead of his time then too.
Yeah.
He had courage and had more nuts than a lot of people to say, you know what? I don't feel comfortable with it. It hasn't been studied enough. I don't feel comfortable who's trying to disperse it, given everything that's going on and the amount of time that's going on. You figured we found out about COVID in late February, early March. The world was shut down weeks later. It's not a lot of time to be able to digest any fucking thing. So for you to kick his back in the way you did, that apology needs to be just as loud. And like you said, bro, to me, it was bullshit. I wasn't feeling, and I don't got no problem with Stephen A. Smith. I like the dude more than I dislike the dude. I hated this. Awful.
Yeah, definitely, man. And that's crazy, man. And I kind of like that he's doing this little separate thing too. Yeah. Because you get to some introspect and perspective in a different way. Yeah. Not just on ESPN, but little bit too late, man.
Yeah, I like Stephen A, man, and
definitely.
I'm always gonna rock with him, but I'm always gonna disagree when it's warranted. And this was ass.
Yeah, so I'm gonna talk about this, man, on the business segment here. Beyonce became the sole owner of Sir Davis American Whiskey. Now, this is a brand that she helped launch in 2024. Apparently, I didn't know nothing about it. Yeah, the French luxury company Moet sold its stake, making her the sole owner of this whiskey brand, man. Just doing big things. I don't always, and I know business is business, right? And I know money is money. I don't always agree with these people getting a line behind these liquor companies, but it is what it is at this point. You know what I mean? People going to drink it, regardless if they behind it or not. But that's another topic for another day, whether I agree with it or not. But let's just talk about this now. That she now has her own whiskey brand. We know what Jay-Z did with liquor, 50 Cent, Diddy, all pushing these brands to like we never knew that Diddy was like he was just pushing Ciroc. Mm-hmm. We thought that was like his baby.
Oh yeah.
And he made a lot of money from it.
Yeah.
But there was somebody, obviously, Diageo, over him. But this is Beyonce. Mm-hmm. People gonna drink this shit. Mm-hmm. So what's your thoughts about Beyonce becoming the sole owner of Sir Davis American Whiskey?
Salute to her. Anytime you could see, we talked about in our earlier segment, where was the black women at when it came to podcasts? We got this black woman out here now branching into the liquor game. I don't know if there's many of her type in the industry, and she got it on her own. She took it over on her own, and I'm happy about that. Now, whether or not what she does with it, we'll see. And in the next 2 or 3 years, if she's promoting this brand as solely black folk and trying to do it to black folk, then I may have a problem with it, because there's a lot of brands out here, and I'm gonna kind of branch into that too, that are out here solely trying to promote the black people, and I don't think it's for good. Whiskey isn't something that we historically sit back and that's not the first thing we grab. You know what I mean? That's more of a white drink. No, whiskey is, you get some good whiskey, that shit will put something on your ass. That's just, it's some good shit now, but it's not something that
some Henny, some cognac and
you
shit.
know what I mean? We more yak, you know what I mean? Or vodka or tequila.
I fuck with whiskey though.
I fuck with whiskey too. And I'm definitely gonna try it.
Right.
But salute to her. It's better to me than watching a bunch of rappers and watching a bunch of black influencers promote honey packs and promote all this other shit that we seeing around here that are solely promoting black men to take these things. And my question is why? Like, we got people and brands that are targeting black men in particular and using black influencers, black celebrities, hip hop in particular, to push these things amongst people. Those are things I question. So before you go and kick Beyonce's back in, let's talk to Charleston White, let's talk to Game, let's talk to Offset, let's talk to all these other people that I'm seeing just branch out with these honey packs that just got paid for you to take and get your dick hard, and we don't know the consequences or the effects of what's going to happen if you take this over and over and over and over